long last, and a most gracious welcome to the Ranger Zone. 3 permanently obsessed Texas Rangers addicts semi-qualified to dish out takes like hotcakes from the front office to the fans. This is a genuine attempt to channel over 60 combined years of our love for this team into something that resembles content that you will actually enjoy watching and listening to. I will defer to one of my fabulous co-hosts here, and we're just going to kind of go around and introduce ourselves a little bit so you get to know who we are, our history with the team, and memories and things like that. So I'm going to defer to you, Toneworth Balloneworth.
I am Tony Cook. My name is Tony Cook. I have loved the Texas Rangers for as long as I can remember. They're the reason I started watching baseball. They're the reason that I started playing baseball shortly after that. Pudge was always my guy growing up. You know, we had posters on the wall, the jerseys, the hats, Rangers themed sheets and blankets, the whole 9 yards. I was very young, but I'm told that I was at Kenny Rogers' perfect game. I have no way to confirm that. As well as Yu Darvish first start, which is a great memory of mine. I had a lot of fun that day.
We can confirm that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
You were there for that one too?
Yeah.
Oh.
We also tried the boomstick for the first time. And both got about 60% of the way through, and we're cheering by the end, but not standing up.
And then, of course, there's the famous Odor game.
Yeah, we were at that one
yeah,
too.
You were. That was a stretch of like a whole weekend. Didn't y'all go to all 3 games that weekend, or you did?
It was me. Yeah, it was my birthday weekend, so I went that Friday. Me and you went, and we saw the debut of Matt Bush. And then the next game, I think it was the day that I went with my dad, and we saw I think that was when Drew Stubbs hit a walk-off, we all remember Drew Stubbs.
I do. He's a Texas Longhorn.
Oh, heck yeah. And then, of course, Sunday was the day where we saw Odor punch Bautista.
It hasn't always been sunshine and rainbows in my fandom. My mom broke her wrist off of a foul ball hit by Dimitri Young of the Tigers.
Oh, man.
My grandma got hit in the head in the same seats by a Royce Clayton foul ball.
Did either of them apologize?
No, of course not.
Okay, I didn't think so.
Funny part about my mom getting hit. On the Jumbotron, they played it back a few times when they got home. And my dad was looking to the left, talking to someone, and then my mom got hit to the right. So he looks back to the right, and she's already on the ground.
Oh, my God.
And on the Jumbotron, my mom's name is Sheila. And on the Jumbotron, he says, "Oh, Sheila." But it looks like he says, "Oh, This didn't deter me and mine not one bit. We literally bleed red and blue for this team, and we always will. I'm thrilled to be a part of this podcast with 2 of my best friends here, and I'm more than happy to share any insight that I may have with all of the Rangers faithful out there.
My name is Chris Green. I love baseball. All of it. The old school statistics to the new school analytics. I'll watch vintage baseball broadcasts on YouTube, and, I love attending games in person. My fandom dates back about as far as I can remember, but it really came alive during the summer of 2010 when we went on, I think it was like a 10, maybe 12-game win streak in the middle of June. Everything really started clicking. I think during that win streak, we overtook, maybe it was the Mariners back then? Overtook somebody for first place, but never looked back after that. And, of course, won a pennant that year and then won a pennant the next year. It was pretty good. It's a good time to get into baseball. And so while I've always been a fan, that was when it really kicked into the hardcore fandom portion of it all. But I am definitely looking forward to, hanging out with these 2 guys and trivia dumping on them, just nerding out about all the baseball things, coming up with things that the average person probably wouldn't think of, and for good reasons. Yeah, I love this sport. I love the team, love the game, love watching the players. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hanging out with y'all.
I am Robbie Balusik. I've been a Rangers fan since the mid-90s. I have been burned by the sun watching this team. I have been burned by metal bleachers watching this team. And I have been burned by routinely attempting to consume a record amount of dollar dogs watching this team. Through the decades of opening day magnetic calendars and roping in friends and family and coworkers into group games, of which you guys have been a part of, A first date and eventual proposal to my now wife. Watching a loss from a limited view seat at the Game 4 of the 2010 ALDS. Sharing in the sweetest victories over the Trastros with my son at the watch party for at the Globe for Game 7 of the ALCS last year, 2023. And then coming around full circle to get burned by the sun again, watching this team. But this time they were parading that commissioner's trophy up and down Randall Mill. So I was happy to get burned by the sun. But after all of that, I still don't pretend to be a baseball expert. That's why I have these two guys with me here. I simply, just kind of lack the ability to retain those and regurgitate those Rain Man-like trivia factoids.
Your head is filled with more useful knowledge.
You brought up getting burned. One thing that didn't get burned, though, was your retinas when you were taking part in breaking the world record for most people wearing their shades at night.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yes.
we were there for that one.
Yes, we were there for that. That was a
Also
good one.
caught a foul ball.
Yes, I did. Christopher was there with me for that one. I think
Was that your first one ever?
that was
or-
the only one
Only
ever.
one. You've never got okay.
Never got another
I got one when I was like 10. We were in the second deck. Ball got hit up over my head, bounced off the back of a seat. I grabbed it on the ricochet, thought I was the coolest person ever. My dad was like, sit down. No one's looking, man. I was like,
man.
okay, fine.
Oh, man. So, for what I do lack in the statistical analysis side, I make up for 100% with unfiltered passion for this team and some lovable goofball qualities that you will certainly hear from me and the other two live action cartoon characters I've brought along with me in this journey. I'm really excited about it. I could not have chose two other people to do this with me. And I think it's time for us to get into
First memories first, I guess. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like if you go back to the origin, what's the first thing you can pick out of your brain as a Rangers fan? Mine is definitely, I remember, I was maybe 4 years old. This had to be about 1997, and I was at a PTA function with my dad. I wasn't even in school yet myself. I think my sister was either in kindergarten or first grade. He was the PTA president. And so, being the PTA president, you have to be some politician. You gotta schmooze. So we're walking around, we're talking to other parents, and he's like, "Oh yeah, me and my son, we love the Rangers." And I distinctly remember him like queuing me up for the whole, all right, who's our favorite Ranger? And at the same time, both of us would just yell, Pudge Rodriguez, emphatically, very emphatically, still emphatically, as a matter of fact.
In your Chuck Morgan voice?
Oh, the third baseman, Adrian Beltre. I'm not as good as him. I'm not even going to try and be as good as him.
Still your favorite Ranger, though? Pudge Rodriguez?
Ooh, of all time. Oh,
All time.
Ooh.
Don't you dare.
You can do a 1A, 1B. I'll allow it because most of my favorites are 1A, 1B. We can't just pick one.
All right. Tony's not going to like this. I'm just going to, 4 words. High drive, it's tied.
High drive, it's tied. That's a Corey Seager.
That's all I'm going to say.
I mean,
All time. That's all I need. One ring, I'm good. It's his. He can have it.
there's so much Pudge and so little Seager, but
It don't matter.
boy, that moment was huge.
It don't matter.
I mean, it was. It's Seager. It's always Seager.
I was thinking about first memory, and I couldn't really place one. I guess by the time the flashbang of consciousness and awareness reached me ripe in early age, I was already a Rangers fan, and it was just kind of like,
there.
this is me, I guess.
Mine, I mean, I went to so many games as a child with my dad. And so my first memory, my earliest memory is definitely with him. And probably not any like specific game, but like our routine. What we would do is we lived right across the street from a Shell and Blimpie combination store. And a lot of people...
You are dating yourself.
Yeah. Blimpie is not... I'm pretty sure it's from the Northeast.
Yeah,
I know
it's not in Texas anymore, right?
No, not at all. But yeah, so we would go to Blimpie. So it's a Subway for people who don't know what it is. It's essentially Northeast Subway.
It was like Jersey Mike's, like wet sub style?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, wet sub. No hot subs. I'm pretty sure it was just cold subs.
Okay.
If they did hot subs, they weren't doing it out of the shell. It was just cold subs. But we would both go. So we'd go in there, get Blimpie Bests, which was every meat and every cheese they had on a 12-inch. And then this particular memory actually is probably when I'm closer to 10 or 11 because he was working at MAPSCO at the time. And that plays
Still
in.
dating
Yep,
yourself.
that plays into this story because there used to be a Mapsco somewhat near the stadium where Buffalo Wild Wings is on Collins and Road to Six Flags. That little shopping center over there. So there used to be a Mapsco there. So we'd go there after getting our Blimpie Best. We'd park at the Mapsco, and then we walk. We walked to the game. And I remember I did not want to walk all that way. And it's really not that far. It's less than a mile for sure.
Yeah, they're like that's
For an old ballpark. We're not talking new ballpark.
yeah.
Yeah. So and
Yeah,
not bad at all. You literally just cut right down Road to Six Flags.
that's one of the intersecting streets of the old ballpark, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go straight there.
But yeah, that's probably my earliest memory, doing that, getting sandwiches and walking in the game with my dad. Any other, what other, I've got a whole list over here. What about you guys, Christopher, other memories?
One other one I had written down here is my pops he had this recording on VHS tape. For our younger audience, those were magnetic tapes that you could record broadcasts on.
Magnets.
But he had a VHS tape recording of the live broadcast of when the Rangers clinched the division for the first time in 1996. It was a game, they were playing the California Angels of Anaheim of Los Angeles. And we, if you haven't looked it up or heard of the story, won the division the first time in true Rangers fashion, where it was a 4-3 loss in 15 innings. So yeah, you have these shots of the players in the dugout, and they're just like sitting there like, I want to like freak out right now, but we're still trying to win a ball game here. But, we eventually did lose in the extra innings. But afterwards, the team came out on the field and, they were high-fiving players and they blew fireworks and everything. It was really cool.
Got to celebrate for the first one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'd have been more upset if they did nothing.
No, yeah. I mean, like, if it's your first one ever, it's like, yeah, you can go pop champagne, guys. Like, celebrate. Have a good time. But we would always watch that recording anytime I was sick or anything, just to kind of, like, put me in one room, get me relaxed, sit in one spot, pop that tape in. And, of course, 15 innings of baseball. It's a nice long recording.
Yeah, especially old baseball. Yes. No pitch clock.
No pitch clock.
You can step out of the box as many times as you want.
Yep. You could get 8 hours of recording time on some of those old VHS tapes. That was great. But yeah, that's definitely another early memory I have that sticks with me here. Somewhere my dad still has that VHS tape too, I believe. So
nice. Some earlier ones for me, I remember what car was I driving? I was driving my grandpa's old 70 whatever Chevy. I was in between cars at the time because I had wrecked my first one. Yeah, so I was 16. This is when I was 16. Yeah, sophomore year. I was trying to go to opening day. Oh. So this would have been 2000. What? I think I've got
8? No,
5.
8 was your senior.
Sorry, no. I lied. This would have been the following year, 2006. Opening day 06. I try to go.
Kevin Millwood.
Yeah, I try to go. I have golf third period. Before lunch, and it's a practice day, so I'm pretty much after second period I can leave for the day because I also had like jazz band later that day and we weren't practicing for some reason. So I leave and my truck does not start because I left the lights on when I parked there in the morning, so I did not get to go to opening day. I was so bummed out. I don't think they ended up winning. Does someone want to check here? We can look. I don't even know if they did win.
It wouldn't surprise me because, I mean, it's Kevin Millwood, man. Name another Ranger in 06. Let's see.
Kevin Minch.
Lance Nix. Like, who are we talking about? Like,
Mark Teixeira.
Kevin Minch. Oh, Mark Teixeira. Yeah, Mark Teixeira. That's legitimate. Oh, is that Gary Matthews Jr. maybe still?
Brad Wilkerson on that
team? Oh, my
team.
gosh. I think you're right, man. Well, this would have been John Daniels' first full season as the general manager, too, I believe.
Is this like a Gerald Laird?
Rod Barajas, maybe,
Was this like Padilla?
This is like before, like, Cameron Lowe. And
Is this Coco?
It might be Padilla and Cordero. Oh, my gosh. Francisco Rodriguez. That was his name, right? No, Coco Cordero. That was
Coco.
Francisco Cordero? Yeah. He was better in Milwaukee than he was here.
All right, I did find the opening day. When in doubt, baseball references where I should have gone. It was against the Boston Red Sox, though.
Oh, okay.
That's weird.
Did not win. It was 7-3.
There's that Kevin Millwood we all know and remember.
Yeah. 5 innings, 5 runs, 7 hits, all the runs earned, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 1 homer. Not a terrible outing. Like it didn't get shellacked.
This is the time where it's just like, are you serviceable? Please pitch for us. You know, we were really struggling.
Scott Feldman came in after that.
Oh, Scooter.
Yep, did one and 2/3, gave up the 6th run, and then we did not give up another one until Joaquin Benoit came in.
Gosh, that's a young Scott Feldman.
Scooter's one of those dudes that I just, even though he played for the Astros, I don't hate the guy.
Here's some of the other. I know you guys were trying to do players. So in left field was Brad Wilkerson.
There he
for that
is.
Day.
Yep.
Shortstop, Michael Young.
Cool.
First base, Big Tex over there. Phil Nevin,
Is this
DH.
Alfonso Soriano days, or is this after him?
No, Ian Kinsler's playing second.
Okay.
Rod Barajas
It is Rod Barajas,
catching.
all right.
Lance Nix, which you said earlier.
God.
Kevin Mensch, and then another Ranger great, Hank Blaylock at over third.
Wow.
Taken from us too soon. He had a good promising career there, man.
Him and Rusty just didn't get to play it out.
Mm-mm.
Injuries, man. So I got a good tidbit that we can, thinking of Kevin Millwood. So Kevin Millwood started on opening day in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009. He started 4 in a row. Since then, starting in 2010, no Rangers pitcher has started back-to-back opening days. You know, I want to try to name them.
Oh, the only ones, or all the ones who have...
Yeah, like just like year by year. Like, do you...
Tanner Sheppers.
That was 2014. So, like, yeah, if you could name him, I could tell you the year. I'd have this one baked in for some reason.
CJ?
CJ started in 2011.
So I'll do your easy ones, DeGrom and Uvalde.
Yep, so that's 2023 and 2024.
There's a Tanner Sheppers-esque one out there that it's on the tip of my tongue.
Did Sean Tollison get one?
Yeah,
He did not.
That's who I was thinking of. But did Matt Harrison? Did he get one?
He did.
Wasn't there some extenuating circumstance that kept Darvish out of this?
There was. He was hurt. It was 2014. It was before his Tommy John, and he was great that year once he did finally get back on the team. But he had some lingering injury from spring training that prevented him from starting on opening day. He missed like 2 starts to start the year.
Didn't he get the second game when Marwin Gonzalez broke up his no-hitter?
So 2013, the reason they gave it to Matt Harrison because Matt Harrison's 2012 was just so dang good. He really put up. And they could have given it to Yu Darvish, but Yu Darvish got game number 2, which was the game where Marwin Gonzalez, second game of the year, almost a perfect game.
Tanner Sheppers and Matt Harrison were my 2 big pulls.
those are Tanner Sheppers is usually the hardest one.
Ooh,
Think
speaking
Bannister.
of Young, I was going to say, Bannister.
Or like those days, because there's a couple in there where those are going to be maybe a little tricky, but yeah.
I was going to do pre-Bannister. Did Derek Holland ever start one?
He did not.
Dude, you're going to have to throw some out there.
I
Blanks
got the list here now. All
right, so if you've got it up, let me make sure I can still get this right. So 2010 is Scooter Feldman.
Yes.
2011 is CJ Wilson.
Yes.
2012 is Colby Lewis.
Yes.
2013 would be Matt Harrison. 2014 is Tanner Sheppers. 2015 is going to be Giovanni Gallardo. 2016 is Hamels. 2017 is Darvish. 2018 is Hamels. 2019, I believe, is Mike Minor.
Yep.
2020 would be Lance Lynn opening up the new ballpark. 2021, and this is another tricky one. Oh my gosh. 2021, who started opening day for us?
He's still playing. Plays for St. Louis right now.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Great Ranger. Kyle Gibson.
There you go.
Great Ranger. Yeah, that dude was like one of the lone bright spots of that 2021 season.
So after Gibson, you have only 3 more.
Okay, so 2022, I believe, was John Gray.
It was John Gray.
And then 23 would be DeGrom, and then 24, Evaldi. And hopefully, just maybe we can have a repeat finally. But giving it to him over DeGrom is also a tricky decision to make.
Tony, what else you got in the chamber over there? Other memories?
I got a story for you.
Yeah.
In 2004, the ballpark in Arlington was rebranded as Ameriquest Field. I'm
Boo.
sure you guys, as well as any of the old heads listening, will remember that giant bell that they would ring for home run celebrations.
Easy.
God, that thing wasn't there. Even though it was Ameriquest for a while, that bell didn't last long.
And I don't even remember.
They had to remove seats. I remember that.
I don't even remember the bell actually moving. I just remember
The
the gong
Yeah.
sound and then the giant bell being there. I was like, if you're gonna have the bell, ring the bell.
Yeah, this ain't Philadelphia.
Well, as part of the promotion for the first home game that year, the Rangers chose a local Little League team to take the field and throw out the first pitch. Lo and behold, my Optimist team was selected for this honor. I'll never forget the electricity that shot from my toes to my nose walking up the steps and out of that dugout. The feel of the dirt between my fingers that I grabbed from second base. And the rumble of the crowd after that first pitch was thrown. If I remember, it wasn't a bad pitch. He probably scooted a little. He wasn't like at the mound. We were in like 5th grade, After the pitch, as we're trotting off the field, the starters take our places, and most of the team is waving and trying to get high fives from their heroes. But my dad, who was also serving as the coach on our little league team, always said, act like you've been there before, act like you belong. So as the Rangers' GOAT, Michael Young, trotted in my direction, I simply tipped my cap and felt my heart skip a beat as that legend reciprocated with a head nod of his own. Whew. I raced off the field, making sure to hop over the chalk line for good luck, knowing as sure as I had ever known anything that I was home and that I was a Rangers fan for life.
That's so sick.
That was a good story.
I that always, when all the kids are on because they still do that.
Yeah.
I've seen them do that at games still. They'll have all of them go out at each of the positions. And I'm just like, it's so special for you.
Cherish it.
Yes. I've also, some just like quick ones. I have seen the last two Texas Rangers general managers in person, not counting the Fenstermaker, the new one. At the old
That's a hell of
ballpark,
a name.
yeah, at the old ballpark, walking in to the center field gate, I saw JD walking across the crosswalk, and I was late to
Was
the
it
game.
all three? I know I was with you. Was it all three of us? Were you there too? Yeah.
And it wasn't like there weren't a ton of people crossing the crosswalk coming from his way. It was like just him, so he was really easy to spot. And then at the last home game of this season, I got to spot, I don't know if you guys have ever seen him before. He's pretty
Super tall.
easy to spot. Oak tree walking around that stadium. Was up on the third deck getting some hot dogs or whatever and caught him at the elevator going down. He was just by himself, and the things I wanted to say, I did not get to say. It was just like when two people go for the same button in the elevator.
Hit him
Pretty
with
much that.
Scared courage, the cowardly
Yes.
dog.
You guys say bye and keep walking the same direction,
Right. I did get to say, hey, but that was about it. He had to go, and, I was fumbling around. We mentioned earlier I got the foul ball with Christopher. That was June 21st, 2011, against the Trastros. We won.
Wait. Was that the game where Mitch Moreland hit the walk-off and then it rained 10 seconds later?
Yep.
Oh, my gosh.
That was the one. We was 11.
That was such a good game.
In extras, 11 innings, we won 5-4.
Oh, wow.
When I caught the ball, so it was top of the 7th. There were no outs. It was the score was 3-2 Houston. The ball came off of CJ Wilson's fingers and then off of Brett Wallace's bat on a 1-0 count.
What a disappointment that guy was.
Yep, he later grounded out. Oh, sorry, that at bat, he grounded out. He was 0 for 5 on the day with 2 strikeouts.
Goodness.
I did put some other notables about this game. Andy Chavez.
Oh, yeah.
Got a triple.
Take me back. Okay.
Michael Young hit it. Oh, this was fun. There was a home run parade that day. Michael Young got his 4th of the year.
Nice.
Cruz got his 16th of the year in the 4th inning. Both Cruz and Youngs were off of Jordan Lyles. Hamilton hit his 6th
Jordan
of the year.
Lyles.
Yeah.
That dude, the textbook innings eater, gonna have like a 4.50 to a 5.50 ERA, but can take the ball every fifth day.
Jordan Lyles plays baseball.
Yes, yeah. It's like you can't, like, the dude had probably 10 plus years in the league, and then you can't dog him, but at the same time, it's like if you're signing him to be in your rotation, you're probably not anticipating contending that year, and it's not his fault. That's what he's for.
No. And so the last two, Hamilton hit his 6th of the year in the 8th, and then Mitch Moreland got the last one of the night in the 11th inning. That was his 10th for the year. I'll throw these in there real quick. Jordan, my wife, Christopher's sister, our first date was at the Rangers game, so I have tons of memories with her. And then, like I mentioned before, I proposed to her. It was against the Blue Jays. We don't have to relive that game. They got absolutely waxed. It was rough. And then the last one, Jordan and I were down in downtown Fort Worth in Sundance Square when we went back to the World Series for the second time, and it was late. We were watching some show or some musical with my parents. I was checking the score on my phone pretty much the whole game, and then we got out, and it was probably 10 o'clock. The pro shop down there was closed. They reopened to sell the shirts. Jordan and I were the first ones in the line.
Oh,
so
nice.
Realistically, out of there's a good chance Jordan and I bought the very first shirts of the 2011 ALCS champ shirts.
Nice.
Right?
Back to back. I don't remember the exact day. There was a game of like the notable games I've been to. There was one in 2011 where Beltray had 8 RBIs. That was pretty rad. Oh, I guess it's RBI, it's not plural.
RSBI.
RSBI. Yeah,
You
RSBI.
throw those S's on there anytime you want. It sounds good and you know it.
I think maybe it was a Cruz 8 RBI game, and then I went to a Beltray 3 home run game. I know the 3 home run game for Beltray was against the Baltimore Orioles. I remember that one.
We love to hit home runs against that team.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially number 32. He sure did hit some. I remember, so I watched that game, too, where Josh Hamilton did hit the 4. I wasn't there. I was in Baltimore, but of course. But I was at home, and I remember I watched his first 2 at-bats, and then I felt like I fell asleep in the middle of the game. I missed, because I think the first at-bat was a home run, and I think the second at-bat was when he hit the double. And then I missed the second home run, but I saw home runs 3 and 4, and then, goodness, was it? What was his name? Dave Barnett, I believe, was the guy still doing the call at the time. Great voice. Dude had a great voice.
He did have a great voice.
And then they tried John Radigan. I know John Radigan was around there. And again, love John Radigan. He didn't have the it factor for a play-by-play guy. And then, of course, then we had the golden years of Steve Busby. Goodbye. Great home run call.
Yeah, man, I love that one.
That's probably my favorite pairing.
Him and Tom Grieve.
They were great.
And much credit to Dave Raymond. He's grown on me over the years.
Yeah, he really has grown on me too. And I wasn't like vehemently against him when he came. It was who we had before.
Yeah, and like I wasn't particularly happy about moving on from Steve Busby, so that unfortunately, I was like, I don't like this Dave Raymond guy.
Was there any controversy with that, or they just mutually part ways?
I think they mutually parted ways. Or I don't know if it was mutual. It might have been a
contract.
Yeah, we're not
thing.
going to renew. I think it was that.
Who was the longtime ESPN booth?
Shambi? No, the guy that does the Giants games now. Or has always done the Giants games.
It was.
Oh my gosh.
Joe Morgan was the color guy.
Yes.
And
what was his name?
Oh, what was?
Oh my gosh. Anymore.
John Miller.
John Miller.
That's it. Yep. John Miller and Joe Morgan.
That's like the baseball equivalent of like the Pat Summerall and John Madden. Wait, it was those two that it was them, right? Okay, make sure I don't mess that one up.
Yeah. Football.
They kept the oblong ball made a Pitskin through the upright H.
Do you sound just like your dad? I've heard your dad quote that so many times. Oh, man. All right, well, with that, I think this episode we're going to put a nice little bow on this. We're going to get into some actual baseball stuff for the next real episode. This was just our pilot one for you to get to know us. We're going to go over a little bit of free agency stuff, obviously about the Rangers. We'll get into some money. We'll get into maybe some trade options, what the state of this hitting was like this past season and the next season. I've got some fun trivia for you guys coming up. I know
love trivia.
Yep, the MVP.
I love trivia.
Cy Young, Rookie, all those awards are coming out. So
name the last Rangers pitcher to win the Cy Young.
Oh my God, none.
Exactly.
Yeah. As always, you can follow us on our socials. They are all at Ranger Zone Pod. That is at Ranger Zone Pod. You can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
And that's the way the baseball go.